All right, guys, we're back with the KFX450 engine. I actually shot a bunch of footage of me tearing down a lot of the beginning of this, including the sleeve here, and unfortunately, I lost the footage. So we're going to keep on going from where we're at, try and figure out what's all wrong with this engine. Is it just a matter of this crack on the block causing things to rattle, or did it break more in the process? So let's find out. So like I said before, unfortunately, I got the sleeve off camera, but luckily the sleeve here looks pretty gorgeous. I don't know to what extent you can see it, but still a tiny bit of crosshatch there, very minimal. With the Nicocell, you cannot just give it a hone, so we're gonna leave that and just put in new rings, let those seat in, and then yeah, it looks pretty good. So I'm pretty excited about that. Also, the piston here, the rod, and you can't really tell, but has very little side to side and no up and down play, which is a huge win. It means our crank bearing's good. So that's a big win. So far, a lot of the big ticket items, the head looks good, the rod bearing looks good, the cylinder looks good, and the piston looks good. So really thinking we're just going to do new rings, new seals on everything, swap the bearings over, and then put her back together. And I'm hoping that's the case, but we're going to get in here a little bit more and find out what all went wrong. So next up on the agenda was to take off, I believe it was on the back here. Yeah, we were going to take off the water pump impeller. Wow. For 9 foot-pound, that sucker's really on there. There she goes. Didn't feel like we broke anything there. Seal 8mm. She should come off. There we go. Like that. And we'll stick a 2x4 in there. It's splitting on this side. Oh, there is a nut. I'm stupid. Good thing we didn't go crazy. Yeah. No? He's kind of stuck on the little dowel here. He's a little convincing. All right, next up we're going to remove the clutch here. It's going to be 10mm. All right. It's our entire clutch packet. There's only a little bit of grooving here, nothing that's even torn in. I don't think it's worth sanding. It looks pretty good there. Here we have a rod here with a bearing at the end. Just like that. Goes into this guy. I don't want to use my left hand, but it's the only way I can hold this guy. There we go. Came out nice and smooth. Then you got a spacer here. Okay. This spacer just fits within those teeth. And then the whole main part of the basket should come out. No teeth busted here. It's nice and clean. Looks good. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and remove the oil passage. Takes a lot more force than you would think for just a little oil passage, but I think it's just those O-rings. It's got 3 little O-rings on here that keep the oil from leaking inside there. All right. So this guy was on that shaft that I pulled out. So this one looks good. Sits right here. This one has a tiny little circlip right here. There it goes. Little C-clip holding this gear on. And I dropped the gear. Looks like there's a C-clip just holding this guy on. It's going to be hard to see. Hard to see clip. There it goes. So C-clip holding on to this little spacer. Your spring comes out. Let's go ahead and take off. I think this guy's next. In any way, shape, or form. Oh, comes right off. Here we go. Got a spacer here. Yeah, it goes on this peg right there before this guy came off. This guy looks nice and straight. This is should be your shifter. Yeah. Hexagon. That's it to a T. But man, I do not want to hurt that. Well, that sucks. That means I have to hit it with an impact in hopes that it'll budge. Something I really don't like doing. Be kind to it. Kind of afraid to hit this hard a lot. Well, not hurting it, but man, that guy's on there way too good. Oh man, feisty. What tool do you use on that? You know, I believe maybe if we take this off, we can get a little wiggle on it, and that'll relieve some of the tightness. Just a little 8mm. So I can wiggle it a little bit now. All right, so we're gonna see if we can get this freaking guy off, dude. He is a mean one, like really mean. Wish there was a better way to give it some impact and vibration to kind of loosen them up. But man, like other than like that tap, like there's not much more I can offer him. He is on there. Oh, it's moving. Yes. So I wiggled this a bit, and then I tapped it with the hammer, and now my 1/4" ratchet did it. So I didn't have to use anything too extreme. The Loctite is what really keeps that guy from budging. So yes, okay. We got that without stripping it. Just took our time. This is all just one piece here. Actually, I believe he can. He might be able to. Yeah, he comes off in a weird way. He's got some tension on him. I wasn't supposed to do that. Could have hurt something there. You got your little bearing guy here with the washer. You got a plate here. Honestly, should come off. Just with the correct tension point. There we go. Little plate. And then the spring. Spring was oriented with the bend on the left side. I like to loosen stuff with my hand. This one was longer than the other 5. There we go. All right. Now we get to see all the gunk inside of here. Oil passages are all clear. It is not budging. There it goes. And here you can see it. Let's see if I can look at all the metal chunks on there. Not to mention just straight up like dirt. That's quite a bit of metal chunks in there. All right, I believe this guy comes out now. All right. You have your oil pump on this side of the case. Comes right out. And so does the wheel that he rides on. Comes right out. Everything looks good. Instead of removing this without hurting anything. That looks pretty good. I don't think we're gonna I say that. You know, I can still stick a rod through that piston sleeve as she turns over. We'll stick a rod in there. I think that route's our best route. And this one is counter. So we're going tight. There we go. That scared me for a second. That came off smooth. Remember, that one goes on backwards or reverse. You have a washer here. Goes with this guy. And then we have our series of gears here. Looks like it is a smaller gear. Goes behind this one, and this one sits on top of the gear behind it. Like that. Very unique gear setup. But they both come off just fine. They look good. All right, next is the shift cam bolt. Should come off. I think I need to take more off. So I'm going to go ahead and take the starter off. It's another 8mm. 8 mil. Eight mil. Same length. There we go. Just a bunch of wobbling. There's an O-ring here, obviously to keep it from spitting oil out. I believe we take the flywheel off next. All right. Get your nut. I only have one big puller that could possibly do it, and I don't think it's the right tool for the job. Getting tighter. Eventually she should give if we're so lucky so as to see that. Happen. As hard as I can go. Gosh. Dang. Well, she came off. Oh my gosh. Flywheel went flying. Let's see if I damaged it. And roughed it up a little bit right there, but nothing too bad. Man, that thing exploded. All right. I didn't test the one-way bearing on that thing. I cannot believe how much that thing exploded. Need protective goggles for that. Holy crap. Yeah, it works real good. Whew. Well, that's one way to do it. Frick. All right, we got two 8 millimeters. For the chain guard, we call that the lower chain guard. Tape these together. All right, now our chain will come off. Check for any damaged part of the chain. Looks good. $17mm. Pretty sure she comes out. And she's just being feisty. It's just on there. All right, we'll take this. We'll take the valve guide off real quick. going to be a 6mm. All right, that just goes here. There. All right, we have a circlip here over the main gear on the crankshaft. Uh-oh. I believe Kawasaki recommends replacing this one anytime you take it off. Ah, there we go. Ah. Main crankshaft gear. Looks good. We have full exposure to the main crankshaft bearing. Let me make sure there's no rings on here. That is it for that section. I have to get this guy off, and I'm not sure. Oh man, that's awfully lame. I can grab it pretty well with these pliers. I don't want to hurt it though. Like that, that was no good. Come on, baby. Take your time, she said. Go slow. Yes! Finally. Cannot express how long that took. Whew. She looks good. Whew, whew. Ah, sucker's hot. All right. We have successfully got off the counterbalance shaft gear. Whew. All right. Bearing. We still have these oil passage covers to take off, which are going to be 8mm. Why do I feel like reassembly is going to be easy? This guy is much longer. I'll watch it in the video and figure that one out. Wow, that's broken. Dang it. Well, when I get this off, you'll see that this oil passage cover is totally broken. Well, that sucks. Another part to order. Yeah. Completely busted. Little piece of aluminum. Got shattered right there. I'll have to check the video and see if that was already broken or if I did that. Honestly, it came off great, so I'm not sure why that happened. Oil filter screen. This one looks brand new. Nothing on it. Very clean. This guy looks fine. You get the wheel that it rides on. Or rides in, I guess. Okay. I think that's it for this portion of the case. This part's ready to split here. On the other side, There's no bolts here, I think. I believe he should come out now. Ha! What do you know? I pull on it. I think it's just hitting the crankshaft. Yeah. It was just the crankshaft in the way. Make sure I didn't hurt the crankshaft. So there's a flat spot right here on the countershaft balance that makes getting past the crankshaft, which, well, doable. It's not really doable without that. Okay. We have the main crankshaft, which is in there. All right, I definitely want to see what's behind here. Everything looks pretty good. Obviously, we had the... Actually, we can take this guy off, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we need to take this guy off. He's definitely going to keep the cases together. Leave me alone. Why won't you come off, good sir? I believe it's moving, but it also could just be twisting the head. And now I'm very worried. Oh, no. Whew, okay. That worried me for a bit there. Looks like we didn't deal any damage. She's all right. Did not enjoy that. There he goes. Woo! Okay. Toasty. All right. Luckily, this guy looks gorgeous. So we're good. All right. I melted a little bit of whatever's behind it. It looks like plastic right here behind it that I melted. There's a tiny little metal plug in there. I want to forget that. Okay. So there's a little dowel here. Let's see if it'll cooperate. Yep. One little dowel here. One little dowel here. Very kind. They weren't stuck in any way, shape, or form. All right. I found the little dowel. We're good to go. This side is completely done. We've got to make sure there's no bolts anywhere that could be removed. So we're done there. We need to remove the shifter. See if it'll slide out. Wait, what? I guess that guy just comes right out. Oh, there you go. There we go. It helped to spin it. I got the circlip off. Circlip? My name is Circlip. Think we could pull that off and then crank on it? Maybe? Go with the 2. We're at the point where we start dealing damage. Please be nice. Just not my day. I can't give it much more. It's already hurting it quite a bit. Where it's just very easy to change your spindle. So much easier to change a spindle. Instead, you got this crap. It's like a battle royale. Metal fighting machine. Whew. Why? Huh? Why won't you come off? Is there something I'm missing here? Huh? Do I hit it harder? Do I dare? I'll try a few punches harder. Oh, I'm so afraid of rounding out these corners. I mean, yeah. You change your spindles all the time on these vehicles. Why would it be so dang hard? That's the hardest setting on my impact drill. The corners still look pretty good. That makes me feel a little better. Hey! Finally. We got it. And we didn't strip it. And it's freaking hot. Got her off. Spindle. Alright, this is where things are definitely broken. We already got chunks of metal falling out here. So, interesting. Need to take note of everything that needs replaced. This is your typically flat. Well, I might supposed to have a curve. It's very consistent. This guy is, he's dirty, but Very bent. I need to look up if that's supposed to be bent or not. The way he curves. Right there behind the spindle, we have a C-clip in here that's about to fall off because it's so damaged in here. It's hard to do this with my right hand without blocking the camera. There we go. Very dirty, grimy C-clip that is actually fine. Oh, you can see this thing almost completely comes off. It's very close. There we go. There's the bulk of the piece that broke off here. So interesting. This little star nut here guy, he was just kind of rattling back there because let me show you. So right here, this guy was sitting like this and kind of rattling and hitting this first gear here. And I'm curious if that's the noise I heard. I don't see any notable damage on the gear yet. That came off. I wonder if I can take the rest of it off. So this is your seal, your oil seal, which will be replaced on top of your bearing. And does this come off of here? It doesn't matter because now we can pull the cases. Interesting. The oil seal just fell right out. Luckily, this gear actually looks fine. I'm actually kind of... Oh, nope, there it is. Sorry. Obviously missing an entire tooth there. So that's a good start. So transmissions, clearly we're going to need what was that, first gear? It's got more teeth, so that's the lower gear. Yeah, it looks like first gear tooth is completely sheared. So much. Three. It's like a 2.5 incher. All right, I think that concludes all the bolts holding the two cases together. Check the other side real quick. All right, let's split these cases. Take a look at the inside. Not going to hit it too hard initially. Just take it. Oh my gosh, that was easy. So it already split along all here. Almost split all the way to there already. We'll give it a few thumps, but Got a few dowels holding it on. Okay. Drops your shift fork. I cannot. There it goes. No damage on this guy. Okay. So the crack was here. Got a little corrosion on this bearing here. So this bearing's tampered. Gonna have to order this bearing, as it probably had water on it. I believe this is supposed to come off, so I'll have to get that off. The transmission, this first gear here is clearly missing an entire tooth. This is the other shift fork. Looks fine. Okay. There's definitely been some type of damage here. You can feel it with your fingernail. It doesn't seem like it's really bad, but it's mostly right here. Oh, I gotta shut this down. All right. Well, for sake of time in this video, we're going to be just showing you everything after inspection that we found on the inside that was broken. So most importantly, on the transmission, we have the what I thought was first gear, but it's actually reverse gear here with a broken tooth. That one's busted as it was riding along the spur gear, and the driven clutch gear, I believe, also had a little damage. So I'm going to be replacing this one, and also the spur gear completely busted. And then the bearing here, which was exposed to weather. The spur gear had a cover that was all busted up down there under the transmission. You couldn't see at the very end of the video. And then this oil cover, which we covered in the video. So the two gears here and here, I have a local guy who can get me both of these. It's going to be $80. The bearing here, ordered online, is going to be 30 or 35 for the OEM bearing. The spur gear and entire assembly, including the needle bearing, I believe was 35. And then this one I could not find used anywhere, and I had to pay 40 for the new oil case cover, or yeah, this piece. So all in all, about 155 for all this on the internals that was busted. So yeah, not too bad. All things considered, we should be able to put it all back in. In the next video, we're going to be tearing down the cases or sorry, we're not going to be tearing it down, but we're going to be taking all the bearings out of the cases and swapping them to the new cases that came with it. So that'll be fun. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully we don't have to order more bearings. So if you made it this far, I really appreciate you sticking around, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.